Today, we're diving into a real horror story you won't believe what happens next. This secret technique is specially designed for those who die tragic deaths, just waiting for the right person like it's a bus stop. This story revolves around head-lowering techniques and vengeful ghosts, guaranteed to be scarier than any horror movie you can think of. The story takes place in Indonesia in 1943. The Japanese came, and a Dutch girl named Ivana became a superhero for the Indonesians. But just as they were about to escape, the very people she saved betrayed her. Talk about ungrateful. In a pinch, Ivana decided to hide her boyfriend and play the role of the human shield. But the moment she showed up, she was greeted with a friendly hospitality. Death situations do bring out the best in people. Turns out the soldiers promised that if they sent her on her way, they would be free to talk about devious. But unyielding, Ivana cast a curse that was as powerful and astonishing as a super coupon, absolutely jaw-dropping indeed. After the soldiers left, Ivana was devastated, hugging her beheaded lover while casually playing her favorite Dutch song. Then, she wrapped Ivana's body in the angriest powder, chanting ancient spells like a mischievous little chef. This curse will last until a destined person arrives to break it. Talk about anticipating a time-traveling fate. 50 years later, in 1993, that brutal Japanese military leader was reincarnated as an Indonesian girl named, but thanks to her past dark history, her parents mysteriously disappeared after a few years, leaving her to rely on her brother. Maya had terrible eyesight, just had eye surgery, and ended up with the unexpected skill of seeing ghosts. While heading to a remote village sanatorium with her brother, she discovered she could see things others couldn't, like chatting with spirits. She thought she was just restoring her sight, but ended up unlocking ghost-seeing mode. What a pleasant surprise. While playing a number-guessing game with her brother, she suddenly sensed a terrifying presence in the backseat. Talk about a movie twist. She realized there was a little girl sitting next to her mom. What an unbelievable sight. This scene made Maya insist on getting out of the car, preferring to walk to the sanatorium, because who needs those backseat dummies? This wasn't Maya's first visit to the sanatorium, but it might be her last because tomorrow is Eid, which means thousands of Indonesians will gather, and it just happens to be the last day of the 50-year seal. Talk about a lucky break. If no one breaks the seal in these 50 years, the vengeful spirit will break the curse itself. Yikes, what a thrill. And the former identity of the sanatorium, surprisingly, was Ivana's estate. What an interesting twist. The seemingly serene sanatorium is actually permeated with eerie vibes everywhere. The legend about the well in the courtyard gives me chills. They say a vengeful spirit lives at the bottom. Who dares to fetch water now? People only dare to clean the well on Eid. Who would casually go there otherwise? That axe has been stuck in the post for over 40 years. No one can budge it, and they say touching it brings bad luck. There's also an abandoned storage room. The elders avoid it like the plague, just like a classic horror movie. Little Des Frisbee ended up in the storage room. What a happy accident to open a forbidden door. Suddenly, the sky flashed and rumbled. Diane and Arthur barged into the storage room. Little did they know, they had just entered a place they shouldn't have. What an unexpected adventure. At first, the storage room seemed ordinary, but as they went deeper, a creepy vibe set in, like a climactic moment in a horror. Maya sensed a familiar energy. Little did she know she was the reincarnation of the brutal Japanese officer who slaughtered Ivana. Just as she attempted to trace the familiarity, the old storage room floor suddenly cracked, and Maya fell into the basement. What a theatrical twist. The basement's existence was mind-blowing. Everything was unlike the ordinary junk upstairs, so thrilling. An old phonograph immediately grabbed Di and Arthur's attention. It felt like they stepped into a museum. Some odd and eye-catching decor attracted Maya to walk over to it. Little did she realize that it was actually a headless statue. Maya felt a chill and playful. Arthur moved the white cloth. What happened next was absolutely unbelievable. At that moment, the 50-year curse was released. Is Arthur really the unsealer? After they left, the sky rumbled ominously like a horror movie climax, full of twists and excitement. But Arthur insisted on bringing back an old wooden box. Who knew it contained jaw-dropping secrets? The old records and faded photos inside caught the old man's eye. A fascinating find indeed. And there's even a portrait of Ivana tucked inside. How could you not be curious? Grandma Annie panicked and warned everyone not to touch other people's stuff. It felt straight out of an old movie. Immediately, the two grandmas started a fierce argument, and the atmosphere turned to battleground mode. Such a chaotic scene. Amid the tense atmosphere, Arthur played the old cracked record, and everyone danced with abandon. Such a joyful moment. Everyone was lost in the dance party atmosphere, as if the spirits joined the dance. The sudden blackout shattered the party's joy. There's nothing scarier than this. Everyone had to head back to their rooms quietly, and little Di finally mustered the courage to tell her sister about the well's secret. How wild.